Yo, what's up guys? It's me, King Branko. I'm here with another Samira guide. This one is going to be mainly focused on how to get over walls with your E, using camps or other champions or objectives or anything. I play Samira mid-lane and it happens pretty often where I just use my opponent to actually get over a wall and get away from them. So I'm just going to explain how to do that, how to position yourself and how to exactly get over the walls. This is one that happens for me pretty often because I play Samira mid, but imagine this is my turret and I'm being like ganked and I'm in a shit spot where I can't really go to my turret over here. So I'm trying to like pass away towards my topside jungle and the jungler is chasing me. What you could do if they chase you over here, this is where they lose vision of you normally unless they have a ward. You could just wait for them here and let's say they chase you down. You just literally walk behind them, press E, go over the wall. Now you have a little bit of gap in between you and there's a wall blocking him from you as well, so you have a bit more safety and you just walk to your tower. It seems very like niche and you would think it doesn't really happen often, but I actually get away from ganks quite often just like this. You can use your opponents to pretty much get over almost any wall as long as they're close to it, so any wall is doable, even this thick wall over here. And this wall is really thick. But like, if they are close to the wall, and you are close to the wall, you can just dash over like that. If they are a bit further away from the wall, you can't actually do this, so it really depends on what the wall is, how thick the wall is, and what your opponent's like positioning is. But like here, it's almost impossible, or I think it's completely impossible to make it over this wall, no matter how close you are to your target. So this also works on this side of the map. Imagine you're being ganked from this way, this is your tower, and maybe the jungle is like already over here or over there, you're just in a bad spot and you can't afford to just walk towards your tower. What you could do is do the same thing, walk into the bush, bait him to like try and hug the wall, chase after you, and then you just angle yourself correctly and you just E over the wall. The thicker the wall is, the more risky it is to go for something like this, because you could actually make this, but it's just very rare that you actually get like a very good setup and actually make it over the wall here. It is doable, but most of the time you're just gonna fail it because it's just not enough range. So yeah, with some walls being a bit risky and depending on the opponent positioning, I would say only do it if you know for sure you can do it. Otherwise, it's probably a safe bet to just keep running. Unless you know for sure he's gonna catch up to you and you're gonna die, you might as well try and go for it then, even if it fails like 10 out of 20 times. Fuck it, you still get out sometimes. You don't always need your opponents to do this. You can also just use jungle camps. Let's say you're being chased by a jungler from here. This scary target dummy over here is chasing me. I'm very low. All you have to do is just walk towards one of these minions that is very close to the wall already, because that's just how they spawn. Just press E on them and you're over the wall. I would say this one is very simple. Be careful not to hit the minions when you're walking this way, because if you do hit them, it fucks up their positioning and now it's almost impossible to get over that wall after they've moved. Also, be careful when you are walking this way that you don't accidentally click past this wall, because then you'll path around, probably walking into the guy that was chasing you. When trying to go for a wall like this, you just want to position yourself as close to like the camp and the wall as possible. So ideally you want to like pretty much hug the chicken and then you press E and it's pretty much free. Again, depending on how thick the wall is, you can even make this jump, but it's a little bit more risky because it's a thicker wall, so it really depends on your positioning, and sometimes you have to stop to position yourself perfectly, which is also more risky. While the tinier chicken is a bit easier because the wall's thinner, so you can just do it while moving, which I'm going to show right now. And if you do want to do it on the move, I wouldn't recommend clicking in the middle of these mids. It's way too easy to click on one of the chickens and fuck up your dash. Just click behind them almost inside the wall and just E when you're very close to them. Just like that, you get over the wall. I feel like this one's pretty useful as well. I don't know, I feel like this is often a spot where a lot of stuff happens. Maybe you have to help out your own jungler, and then you're low HP and you try to get out. And then you can maybe do like one of these. Again, you probably want to angle it this way because this wall is way thicker. It's a bit more risky if you go for a thicker wall, so I would just recommend going for that one. The Gromp's also a very usable camp to get over the wall. You can use it to escape from someone chasing you, or to maybe like ambush something who's on the other side of the wall. Again, you can just position yourself by standing very close to the Gromp, press E, and you're over just like that. If you want to do it while moving and stopping your movement, just click behind him, and when you get really close to him, just press E. Simple as that. Harder camps to use are like red buff and blue buff. The blue buff is a bit easier, you can do it like this. The red buff is very hard to use. I don't really see how this would ever be useful. Maybe if you're pulling the red and the red is chasing you and there's someone else and you have to get over this wall, you could do it like that. You could probably even use it to just go over this wall. I actually made it over there, but I pressed E backwards again after. But this just seems a little bit too unreliable and very niche. I think that it almost never works or will ever be useful, but it could maybe in 1 in a million games help you. I would say these are a little bit rough to use as well. The small one is a bit easier because the hitbox is like smaller, so you can get a bit closer to it. You can do that one fairly easy, but the bigger one, kills. Sometimes it just depends on how you angle it. You just have to be exactly very close to it and then it will probably work. A bit harder to do while on the move, pretty easy to do if you're setting yourself up just standing still. So if you are being chased, that one's a bit riskier. That one right there is pretty helpful. That actually gives you a lot of distance. It's really hard for a lot of champions to get all the way past this pretty quickly unless they actually have a dash. You can also do it this way, but it will probably give you a little bit less distance than just going that way. Keep in mind you can always kite the buffs to get like a slightly better angle. It's a bit more risky, especially if you're already low or you're being chased or something like that, but you can always just like drag the blue somewhere like this, and then maybe like juke them. And you're like, hold up, where the fuck did Samira go? Maybe if they don't have a monitor. True. With wolf scams, you usually just want to use the tiny ones. The big one is just too far away from the walls. It's too unreliable. Unless they're moving or someone's already attacking them. Small ones are pretty easy though. I wouldn't go too far that way because then the wall's just too thick to get over. So don't be too greedy and just like that it works. You could probably push a little bit more forward, but never go like that. It just doesn't work. It's too far away. Obviously you can do that side as well. You can also do a reverse, like some camps have the minions very close to the wall from the other side, and you can actually use them to get over. You do need vision though, let's say you're being ganked, you need to get away. Just let support down, press E there, probably made it out as well. This works on Krugs as well, you can either use the big one or the smaller one, but I feel like the smaller one here with this little like dent is a bit easier because you're just closer. But honestly both work as long as you're close enough, can help you escape as well. This also works on wolves. You can use the small ones and the bigger one, but for the big one you have to be a little bit closer because it's further away from the wall. I would just recommend using the small one, and it's just as simple as just having vision, being close to the wall, being close to the wolf, and just pressing it on it. Gromp works as well. Blue buff also works from a couple angles. This one works, and this one works as well. I'm pretty sure on this side of the map this one doesn't actually work. I don't think you can really get close enough to get this angle. You can do this one though, obviously, because this wall's pretty thin, so it could help you as well a little bit. The wrap up doesn't really work either. You can do it from this spot, but that's about it. You're cutting like a small edge of the corner. The wrap up doesn't really work either. You can dash through it like a little bit, like from the wall here, but it honestly doesn't help you that much. It gives you a little bit of distance, but maybe it could save you if you just eat like that and just flash over like that, maybe. Don't think it really, if you don't flash, it doesn't really help you though, because then you're just stuck kind of in the red buff zone. So it doesn't really help you escape. I wouldn't really recommend using the Scuddle. This guy is way too inconsistent. I don't know what the fuck he's doing. He just runs around like a little creep. Just slippery. Sometimes he just fakes you, he jukes you. Too unreliable. You can use him just for distance though, I guess, if you're being chased. It's not really to get over anything, but better than nothing. So yeah, that's pretty much all there is to it. Just use your enemies to get over the walls by standing close to your enemy and have the enemies stand close to the wall, which sounds weird. Like, it's not like I can ask the opponent to stand close to the wall, but sometimes you can like bait them or manipulate them to just being in the wall in general. Because usually when champions chase you, they want to have like the shortest line after you. So if you're running this way and this guy is chasing me, he's not gonna walk over there, right? He's just gonna chase me as close as he can, so he's gonna be hugging the wall as well. So let's say they're chasing you very closely, they're to a wall, just make a little side step back and you press E and you're over the wall. They don't have flash, they don't have a dash, you're probably safe. If you are feeling fancy, you could even go for a flash, but honestly if you have a flash, I don't know why you wouldn't just use it, but you could do that in theory. Looks cool, but you might as well just use your flash to get over the wall and then use the E to get more distance on something else. It's just as simple as that. I just thought it's like a little thingy that people might not know, or they might not know certain spots that they could use it on, or certain camps. So I kind of want to make this video. But yeah, if there's any other questions or you want to see any other videos about Samira or guys or tutorials, just let me know and I'll gladly do them. And yeah, thank you for watching the video. I hope to see you in the next one.